Putting. It can be the absolute best part of your round or the most infuriating. We've all been there, right? You scrape two perfect shots onto the green, and then it all falls apart with a shaky little putt. But what if I told you the key to consistency wasn't just some vague feel, but actual provable science? Well, let's dive in. We're going to strip away the myths and really look at what the biomechanics tell us about building a putting stroke that's repeatable and totally pressure-proof. Isn't it crazy? It's the shortest, slowest swing in all of golf, but it's the one that gives us the most anxiety. Think about it. A drive is all about explosive, athletic force. A putt, a putt is the exact opposite. It's all about precision and getting rid of almost every single movement. It's basically a battle against your own nervous system, trying to stay perfectly still when every fiber of your being is telling you to just do something. And that right there is where understanding the science can give you a massive edge. So here's the thing. Before the putter even moves back a single inch, your putt can already be made or missed. Seriously, almost every common putting mistake you can think of traces right back to an unstable or inconsistent setup. This is your foundation. And if that foundation is shaky, well, the whole stroke is basically built on sand. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Just look at the do column. A stable setup is all about creating a solid, quiet base. You want to get the ball directly under your eyes. That helps you see the line correctly. You want a light, relaxed grip because that keeps all those little twitchy forearm muscles out of the equation. And a neutral spine with your feet pretty close together, that locks in your lower body so it stays completely still. Now, the don't column, well, that's just an invitation for all the wrong, uncontrollable muscles to join the party. And really, that's the entire point. You are building a platform. The best way to think about it is like you're a statue from the waist down. Totally immobile, totally solid. So now that we've got that stable foundation locked in, let's take a look at the engine that's actually going to power this stroke. All right, and this is a big one. A putting stroke is not a mini golf swing. We got to get that idea out of our heads right now. It's a pendulum. It's just a simple, rhythmic rocking motion that should be powered by your biggest, most reliable muscles, not your small, twitchy, unreliable hands and wrists. This right here is the absolute core concept. Forget about trying to hit the golf ball. Instead, just think about rocking that stable triangle that's formed by your shoulders and arms. Imagine there's a string attached to the center of your chest, just pulling the putter back and then pulling it through. See? The engine isn't in your hands. It's your big chest and shoulder muscles, your deltoids and pecs. These are big, slow twitch muscles, and they are perfect for creating a smooth, repeatable motion that won't freak out under pressure. So let's see how this feels in motion. It's just one fluid movement. Those big muscles in your chest and shoulders pull the club back. Then, and this is important, there's no pause at the top, no jerky hesitation, just a smooth, seamless change of direction. And then, those exact same muscles push the putter forward toward the target. Your backswing and your follow-through should have the same rhythm and, crucially, the same length. And we're going to come back to why that symmetry is so important in a little bit. All right, now listen up. If you only change one single thing in your putting stroke after this, please make it this. The biggest, most destructive error that biomechanical studies have found by far is letting your wrists hinge or break at any point during the stroke. It's the #1 killer of good putts. So why is this so bad? Well, the second you hinge your wrists, you bring all those small, fast twitch muscles in your forearms into play. And look, those muscles are great for, swatting a fly, but they are an absolute disaster when you're trying to roll a ball precisely down a line. They create an uncontrolled arc in your stroke, and it becomes almost impossible to get that club face back to square at impact. This right here is the real reason for almost all of those pushed and pulled putts. Okay, so we've built the foundation, we've got the engine running smoothly, and now we're at the moment of truth. Impact. All that good work pays off right here. And the goal isn't to add speed or to hit the ball harder. It is simply to deliver a perfectly square club face to your target line without any other body parts messing things up. Look at that number, 0. That's it. This is non-negotiable, and this slide says it all. At the exact moment of impact, the only thing moving is that shoulder and arm pendulum. Your head is still, your lower body is still, your wrists are still, everything else is frozen. Any other little movement, no matter how tiny, is going to nudge that ball offline. I like to call these the 4 horsemen of missed putts. We've all done them. Peeking, lifting your head early to see where the ball's going. That pulls your shoulders up and usually opens the club face for a push. Face rotation, that's those sneaky forearm muscles trying to steer the ball. Jabbing, that's a fear response, that little jerky, tense motion.
And weight rocking? Well, that just means your whole stable foundation has crumbled and you probably pulled the putt.
Now, I know it might seem a little weird to focus on what happens after the ball is already gone, but trust me, your follow through is not for style points. It's a direct reflection of the quality of your entire stroke. Think of it like a receipt. It's proof that you did everything right leading up to and through the ball.
This is the key, not just for a pure strike, but for elite distance control too. Symmetry is everything. If your backswing is 6 inches long, your follow-through needs to be 6 inches long. This guarantees that you're accelerating smoothly through the ball instead of slowing down into it, which, by the way, is why so many putts end up short. A great drill is to just practice strokes, listen for the click of the ball, and then just hold your finish for a full second. It's amazing how it trains your body to stay quiet.
And that's why the follow-through is kind of like a truth detector. If you have a short, jerky finish, you probably jabbed at the ball. If your club face is pointing way left or right at the end, guess what? It was almost definitely pointing that way at impact. A perfect, balanced, symmetrical follow-through, that's the signature of a perfect pendulum stroke. So when you boil it all down, what's the big secret? It's this. Great putting is a process of elimination. It's about quieting your lower body, silencing your wrists, and getting rid of all those tiny, unnecessary movements that cause inconsistency. It's almost a Zen-like approach. You're not trying to force a result, you're just creating the perfect, quiet conditions for a good result to happen all on its own.
And that's the question I want you to take with you to the practice green. Start thinking about your putting stroke not as something you need to build up, but as something you need to strip down to its absolute simplest form. What happens when the only thing moving is that stable triangle, just rocking back and forth from your shoulders? That's the secret. It's not about adding some magical move to your stroke, it's about taking everything else away.